So anyway, Dre, we'll start with you. Just in regards to your confidence in terms of Michigan facing a mobile quarterback, Adrian Martinez making a lot of plays with his legs.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not that concerned for Michigan. Yeah, because for one, it's due to Adrian Martinez's own issues. He's been, and I know he's been playing a lot better lately, but he's been turnover prone ever since he first took his first snap at Nebraska. And one thing that this defense has shown all year, and it's been spearheaded by Aiden Hutchinson, is how much havoc they do in the backfield. Strip sacks, tackles for loss. I mean, they are absolutely disruptive at the point of attack on the line of scrimmage. And then you got your linebackers like Josh Ross, coming downhill with reckless abandonment. And I just think that's one thing I'm not really that concerned about. I mean, for one, you have to choose between Michigan's defensive line and Nebraska's offensive line, I'm definitely getting the edge to Michigan's defensive line. And so, if Adrian was to get, somehow scramble and try to break the pocket and try to make a play, our front seven, with Josh Ross, they've been pretty fast with, covering a lot of ground. That I don't really worry about that too much. I think our defense is too athletic to be exposed by Adrian Martinez. And another part of that is I don't think, even if Adrian Martinez is able to, buy himself a couple extra seconds, I don't think Nebraska has the athletes on the outside to get the separation needed for Adrian to take advantage of that. So that's actually one aspect I'm not too worried about going to Saturday.
Yeah, and I think when it comes to number one, a good defense and especially defending something like a mobile quarterback, is I think of having playmakers on each level of your defense. And I think Michigan has that with, Aiden Hutchinson. I think he gets, a lot of praise, as he should. He has just been dynamic of a defensive end. And I think Dre and I talked about it before. You could arguably say that he is the best defensive end that Michigan has had in recent history. We talked about it that maybe Lamar Woodley, would probably have an argument in there, but nonetheless, it's an argument. So you've got, Hutchinson up front, you've got Josh Ross in the middle. And, when Ross was out the second half of the Rutgers game, like you saw how different, the run game or Michigan's run defense was. And I'm not going to attribute 100% of that to Josh Ross being out. But, when you're talking about a middle linebacker, it definitely makes a difference, in there. And then obviously on the back end, you've got, Dax Hill that, they move around quite a bit. He was on some blitzes last week, was able to actually knock Graham Mertz out of the game with a big hit. So, when I think about, good defenses, I think about having, guys on three levels. And then also too with Martinez, sometimes when you're, a quarterback trying to extend plays, what you're doing is giving, guys like Aiden Hutchinson more time to be able to, to get to you. So it's, a lot of times you'll be able to run out of trouble, but, there's quite a few times where you might end up running into trouble too. So, the longer you spend back there, that's more time that you're given to, big number 97. And also too, like I said, Michigan, Mike McDonald does a great job of drawing up blitzes and pressures. So it'll be really important for Martinez to take care of the ball. I think that's probably going to be public enemy number one, because I think if Nebraska turns the ball over, I think they're going to find themselves in a world of trouble pretty quickly.